very, very happy to present to you Francine Rodrigue. Very exciting. We met maybe
a few years ago.
Yes, quite a few years ago in networking. Yes, so you will see why this is very apropos. So She Did It, as you know, is a web series where we showcase amazing entrepreneurial women that share their journey, share their story. And yeah, so Francine, it's exciting to have you here with us.
Thank you very much for having me here. I appreciate it.
It's my pleasure. So I'm going to let you go ahead and tell us who you are.
Well, my name is Francine Rodrigue, and I'm a business networking consultant where I help business owners, entrepreneurs, and solopreneurs to, especially if they feel intimidated or maybe uncomfortable with the idea of approaching new people, or if they feel intimidated or even overwhelmed at the idea of attending some events, whether it's social or for business. So I help them develop their networking skills so that they can gain their, they can go and attend their networking event with confidence and ease, so that they can attract the right people, nurture those relationships, build those relationships, and nurture them so that they can build their network and their bank account. So that's the bottom line.
That's exciting. So when did you get this amazing idea? When did this start? How did
Actually, I've been networking since 1990.
Wow.
And a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been networking, and I remember the first time that I was at the networking event, I felt so intimidated going in the room, and I stood by the door and I didn't know anyone. And I knew I wanted to be there, but I felt, and I'm not a shy person, but I felt so intimidated. And right away there's a lady that came to me and opened her arm and said, "Come on in, welcome." It made me feel so good, and I wanted to make sure that I reciprocated and I paid forward for the other people after me. So I've been welcoming people and helping them get involved into the networking scene with ease. And in the last few years, because I've been doing it for so many years, a lot of people come to me and say, "I want to pick your brain. I want to know, what can I do better when I do my networking?" So without being a business, I was doing it. So I decided to monetize my network, and my skill. That's what I've been doing. And since then, I also founded an online networking group called eNETWORKING CommuniTEA, TEA, where we grab a tea and we go online and we network together, just like we do in person, except we cannot exchange business cards because we're not in person, we're online. So we use the chat box to exchange contact information. So it's a different way of networking, and it works. It saves time, money, and energy. And especially people like it. I started it on a cold day in winter in February because I wanted to network, and I did not want to go out in the cold. So that's how it got started.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what was because I know you've been in business before then, right?
I've got many businesses.
That's right.
I'm a serialpreneur, actually. I've got many businesses.
I love it.
Yes.
Talk about that. Did you ever have a 9-to-5 or?
I had, yeah.
You did?
Yeah, my first job was in a bank. I'm a banking girl. Yeah. I'm a banking girl, and I worked in a bank for 5 years, and then I was a mom at home. And I had the bug of entrepreneurship when I was a kid, though, because of my dad. And it's mentioned in the book. I'm a co-author of a book called Vivre sa rêve et Rêver sa vie et vivre son rêve. And I explained how I got the bug for it, just watching my dad, having meetings around the kitchen table with men in suits, shaking hands, and then they all went their way at night, at the end of the evening. And I thought, I wonder what they're doing. I was watching them from the staircase, as a kid, that's what you do. And it was very interesting. And as I grew up, and when I had my first job in a bank, there was a department of real estate. And it was all men again. Yeah, and I didn't realize that, it's not that it was bugging me, but I never saw a role model in business as a woman.
Wow.
So until one day, there's this lady that walks in. in a navy suit, and she was full of confidence, and she was there with her briefcase, and I thought, I want to be her. And the chapter in the book is called La Femme à la Mallette.
Ooh.
It's the lady with the briefcase.
I love it.
So it's about me being inspired by this lady,
Yeah.
and I had the bug then to be somebody
Yes.
with the briefcase and with the navy suit, and I do have that. I have the briefcase and I have the navy suit now.
Awesome.
Yeah. And so that was the initial, and I thought at the time
Yeah.
that what I wanted is what she had. She was a real estate agent. So at some point in my life, I had a turning point and I decided to go into real estate. So I was a real estate agent and I loved it. I loved it so much, I forgot I had a family, so I quit right away when I realized that when my kids were going on the wrong path. I decided, well, that's not why I had kids. So I decided this is not the choice I want.
Wow, that's awesome of you.
And I turned it around, and I was always, and I was a mom at home before that, so I always had a little business on the side, selling something.
That's right.
Makeup, skincare, and I love feminine stuff to sell. And to this day, I still have a skincare line, I still have a makeup line, I still have all of those and other things as well. And I have a greeting card business as well that helps my clients in the networking scene to stay in touch with their clients. So everything is related, and the reason why I'm keeping the line of skincare and the line of makeup, it's because my background, after that I became an image and wardrobe consultant.
Oh!
And as an image, I grew into businesses.
You look beautiful.
And as I built my image and wardrobe consulting business, I had a very successful business. I developed a big clientele of women. And to serve my clientele better, I had my own line of makeup and I had a line of skincare for them. And I decided, because I have a huge network of women, that's why I keep a line of feminine products like that on hand, because a lot of people come to my house. There's a lot of networking around my kitchen table. And I've created different events, including Eyebrow Day. We're celebrating 10 years next month.
Really?
I do one day a month. Eyebrow Day.
Okay.
1 day a month.
Okay.
I hire an institution for the day, and all the clients come and go all day, and we network around my kitchen table all day.
I love it.
Yeah, and so refreshments are served, so they like to hang around, And a lot of times they say, oh, can I have this cream, or can I have this eyeshadow, and they lead with products as well. So it's all intertwined, even though it doesn't really relate to networking,
That's really interesting.
And so I have ideas all the time. Every time I go to my husband and I say, I was just thinking, he goes, how much? How much? So I'm full of ideas all the time, and I create events, and in our network, in a networking community, there's a lady who is a winemaker, and she travels around the world, and she takes people with her and bring the people to destination where they have wine and the food and the wine and all that. So when she's in town, she lives in Niagara-on-the-Lake, and when she's in town, we do a wine pairing at my house, wine and cheese or wine pairing. So we develop events around the people around us in our network.
That's right.
And it's not pre-planned. It's just, I hear you're in town. Okay, let's do something.
Yes.
And so we find reason to gather. I find reason to gather people together and to connect people together. That's really my strength,
That's right.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, leveraging your strength like this, and like you said, turning your skill, monetizing your skill is really something that people are afraid to do sometimes, right? So, for example, do you have advice for the woman that's, she loves, she has a passion, but it's kind of a side hustle, as they call it. And so she's kind of afraid, to do that jump, right? Because that's security, right?
Go after your passion for sure.
Yeah.
And think of a way to monetize it. If that's what you want. Some people don't want to monetize it. They don't want to be a business person. But if you want to, there's ways. And if you want ideas, call me. I'm always full of ideas.
That's right.
And sometimes I'll meet somebody in a restaurant and we're having a chat and I say, you know what, we need to talk about something. I just had an idea for us.
That's it.
And that's how Eyebrow Day was started. I met somebody, there was so much energy between us. I said, we got to do something together. I said, what's your specialty? I didn't know what she did.
That's right.
She says, eyebrows. I said, oh my God. She says, what? I said, let's do an eyebrow day. She says, what is an eyebrow day? I said, well, you have a skill and I have people. Let's put the two together and we both make money.
Love it.
So that's how it starts, It's little sparks, little ideas like this, and you think of ways of how to do it,
Yes. So what I hear as well is partnering with other people.
Partnering is good. If you're afraid of doing a jump, to answer your question, because I haven't forgotten.
Okay.
I tend to talk a lot, but I haven't forgotten. If you want to make the jump and you're afraid, I truly suggest you do it part-time.
That's it.
Keep your job,
Yeah.
because that's your security right now. And when the money that you bring is enough that you can afford to let go of your job, then that's when you do the jump. Don't quit just cold turkey and go and do your passion.
Yeah.
Your husband might want to kill you.
It's not for everyone, let's just say, right?
It's not everybody that's risk taker.
Exactly.
And also it's not everybody that's in the same financial situation.
That's right.
So you have to go with your situation. You don't want to put your family at risk.
Yes.
And your family's security at risk to just have fun.
Yes.
I have fun all the time. In what I do, anything I touch, I gotta like it. If I don't like it, I won't do it.
Very important.
And
right.
that's the first thing. And as far as working with people, the partnership, I'm not a big partner type.
Okay.
Personally, I like strategic alliances.
Yes.
But as far as starting a business with somebody, I'm not for it.
Yes.
Personally, there's always one that works more than the other. As far as a partnership, it's different. As far as a strategic alliance, it's different because you both bring skills to the table and you both have something at stake.
Yes.
So it's very different. Like eyebrow day, I'm the one who does all the bookkeeping. I'm the one who does all the booking for everybody that wants to get their eyebrows done, and she's the one who plucks all day.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Like I'm the one who collects the money. Like all the office work. I'm not an office person, but I'm a money person.
Yes.
I know how to count it. Not that she doesn't, but she's got the skill of doing eyebrows. I don't.
Yeah.
So we're monetizing her skill and our contacts together.
That's so good. Yes.
So different things you can do with what you got, but first you got to find that passion.
That's right.
And I'm sure you can help people that
Oh
way.
yes, I can. Absolutely. And that's what fuels me, helping people find their passion, find what it is that they have inside of them that the world needs to hear. The world needs to know about it.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's really a question of, yes, having these networking events where, this is what I did with one client one day. She was very afraid. She had an amazing idea and just afraid of talking about it. Yeah. And I just took her along to a networking event and she started sharing her idea and wow, the response.
The people are the response from the people is usually very positive and very supportive.
That's right.
Some people may not think that, but it is very supportive out there. I find that I belong to many networking groups. Over the years, I've been on so many board of directors. I've been, the treasurer of one. I've been the vice president of one, the president of others, and I've had many roles. And one advice that I say to people when you want to go network, get involved. Yes. Get involved and get on the mic.
Oh,
when you get on the mic, people pay attention to you. And first of all, when they do the infomercial in a networking event, you'll have your turn, but when you're on the mic, it's a second turn.
That's right.
So they see you twice on the mic.
That's good.
So obviously you got to have something to say.
Yes.
But as a role, if you have a role on a board of directors or on a board in any networking groups, you will have a chance to get on the mic. You'll have a chance to stand in front of the room, and that's what you want. I've been in a situation actually in Gatineau.
Okay.
Many years ago, I heard of a networking group in Gatineau. It was called Le Réfap at the time.
Oh yes.
And I heard of it, and no, it doesn't. I heard about it, and I said I want to go see what it's all about. And in those days, I was looking everywhere to see which group was going to be the group I was going to choose to continue attending. So I go to the event, I like it. And as I get there, nobody knows me. I don't know anybody because I just heard of it.
Yeah.
Nobody invited me there. I just showed up.
Okay.
And so the lady at the reception at registration says, what's your name? What do you do? And she says, oh, by the way, we're having a meeting next week where there's an election on the board and all that. And we have some openings. Would you be interested? I said, no, not really. I don't know anybody here. Nobody knows me. And I'm sure if there's an election, I will never be elected because I'm not known in Gatineau because I live in Orleans.
Right.
And she said, no, come anyway. We'd like your opinion. I said, I've been on many boards. I can help you.
Yeah.
And I'm bilingual, but I don't know what you stand for and what you're about. But I can find out. I said, I'll be at the meeting. So I get to the meeting, and they say, oh, we need somebody for this position and all that. We don't have anybody. And then I thought, oh, I know I can help them. You know, and I didn't know that they didn't know me or anything. And then they said, well, everybody, you can lift your hand if you're interested. You can self-nominate yourself.
There you go.
And nobody was lifting their hand. And I thought, well, I can help them. How can I? And then I thought, oh, well, I'll lift my hand, you know. And I'd say, if you don't have anybody, I don't mind. I'll be happy to help, you know. And I had a lot of years of experience on boards and that. And then when a lady saw me lifting my hands, she was not sure anymore, she lifted her hand. So now there had to be an election. And I thought, oh shoot, what did I do there? You know, now of course I'm going to be booted out, you know, because nobody knows me here.
Yeah.
And they gave us 1 minute to say something.
There you go.
And so she had a chance to talk, and I had a chance to talk. And I just smiled, and I said, my name is Francine Rodrigue. You don't know me, and I don't know you, but I know of your group. And if you want new blood, I'm it.
There
Bye. And I was elected. So I was on the board 2
One
years.
look at you.
2 years in a row. And actually, it was a great experience. And because I was on the board, I got known just like this.
That's it.
And it was amazing. The experience was amazing. And I was also nominated in the following years as one of the business person of the year. And then 2 years later again. So as you can see, it's just a matter of getting involved.
That's it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Choose a network where your ideal client is.
Yes.
That's what I recommend. So that you get or a network where the people there have the same client as you. So you can have some strategic alliances.
That's very good.
So build some association, you know, with people, nurture those relationships, and get involved. That's really what I strongly recommend if you network. Get involved.
I love that. That's amazing. And this is what, you know, inspired me to start She Did It, really, because so many times, you know, women don't know of each other.
Yeah.
You know, there are some amazing, wonderful, and successful entrepreneur women in the area.
We have a lot to offer.
Yes,
We have a lot to
exactly.
offer. Everybody has a gift.
Exactly.
You know,
Yeah.
you have to find your gift and share it. Shame on you if you don't share it with the world.
That's right.
That's what I say to people.
Yeah.
Shame on you if you don't. You know.
Yeah, and really, I always say to people, you know what? A stranger is just a friend you haven't met yet. You know,
For
so
sure.
if you think about it that way, then you'll know that when it is time for you to get out there, you'll be able to feel comfortable because this is a friend.
Yeah. And actually, there are ways to make it easier on you to approach new people, and let people approach you as well.
That's right.
You know, so I'm going to share some tips tonight on how to do about those tips about how to network and how to approach people, how to make you open to receiving people coming to you.
That's right.
You know, those kind of things. You know.
Yes. Well, we'll have you, you know, in one of our She Did It events for sure to do that. Love it, love it, love it.
And also one thing I want to add,
Yes.
when I was an image and water consultant, for a few years I was organizing an event for women in Orleans where we attracted over 300 women coming.
Wow.
And it was an event just so that the ladies can have one day to themselves. It was called You Deserve It.
Yes, I remember.
One day to themselves where they could forget about their husband, forget about the kids, and just focus on them.
That's right.
We had a keynote, I rented a whole school, and we had a keynote speaker, and we used a classroom where we had 24 workshops. We had a silent auction, marketplace, and we had entertainment at lunchtime, and it was amazing, and loot bags for attendees, and that was a great success every year. I sold it in 2010, and but it was a success every year and attracting the right women, so it was fun.
That's amazing. Wow, Francine, thank you so much. I could sit here and listen to you all day, really.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So let's end by maybe talking about your definition of success. What does success mean to you? So everybody wants success. Everybody has a way of measuring success. What about for you? What is it like for you?
For sure, success is different for everyone.
Yeah.
It's about freedom, accomplishments, and connections. I don't want to die alone.
Yes.
That's one reason I network. I've built a huge network over time, and there's a reason why I say it like that. I don't want to die alone. Because I have a story about a friend who was from another country, who was here in town. I'll give you the short version. She got sick with leukemia. She had nobody. And I was by her side for the last 6 months of her life, because she had nobody. And actually, she had one other friend, and he went once in a while to visit her. But I made a point for the last 6 months of her life, at 6 o'clock after my work at the time, from 6 to 10, I went to spend time with her at the hospital. And in her last few breaths, I was with her as well.
Wow.
And I thought, well, I don't want that to happen to me, because I don't have family around here.
Yes.
I live 6 hours away from my family. Of course, it's not far compared to her. But again, and I have a family now. I have a husband and 2 children, and I have friends, and I have a huge network. And I thought, well, when I grow old and sick, and at least I'll have some visitors, and I won't feel lonely.
That's right.
Because loneliness is tough for people, and that kills people, actually.
Absolutely.
And networking is a solution to that.
Yeah. Yes.
And I see it as a solution. So success for me is freedom of choice. You can choose to be with whoever you want. I chose to be here today. You invited me, and I chose yes or no. I want to be here. And same thing with your people tonight. I want to meet your people. And it's not only about the people in front of you. You can go through people. You can find a pearl also with that pearl you have in front of you.
That's it.
Absolutely. So it's about growing your network, and success to me has to be shared.
Yes, I love that. That is so good. And I think that really embodies what She Did It is trying to accomplish.
Yes. That
all of these women that have success and that are sharing their story and sharing that in a way so that people can say, you know what, if she did it, I can do it too. And that is the whole idea behind it.
And I love the name. She did it. I love the name.
Thank you.
Oh, yes.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that says a lot.
It does, doesn't it? Francine, maybe you can tell us how we can reach you. Maybe some people want to connect with you, want to know more about what you do. So tell us.
Well, you can reach me either by phone or email or Facebook at Francine Rodrigue. And my phone number is 613-868-3411. And you can reach me by email at frodrigue@lifestylebydesign.net. And I hope to see you at eNETWORKING Community.
Oh, yes.
People can also reach me at eNETWORKING Community for sure.
That's great.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Bye.
Je suis une conseillère en réseautage d'affaires où est-ce que j'aide les entrepreneurs. C'est-tu en anglais ou en anglais?
C'est en anglais.
Je pensais que c'était en français ce soir.
Ce soir, oui.
Oh, okay. I prefer English. Okay, you're going to cut out.
Thank you so much. Okay. Wow,